Hello everyone, I'm Brian. Today I'm reacting to Habits Make the Mind Dull, J. Krishnamurti. So that's very odd to say that. Makes the mind dull. That's kind of counter to what I think of good habits. But bad habits, did it make the mind dull? Not too sure, probably. But good habits though, really? Makes the mind dull? That's very interesting, because like good habits tend to be like cleaning your room, cleaning the house, washing your car, or exercising, or maintenance of the yard. I mean, it's things, I guess, because it's something that you do repetitively and requires almost no thought because it's something that you've done over and over again. I can see it that way, but do I have to make it say it's dull? It's kind of terrible. It sounds terrible. Let's go ahead and get started.
Now, can the mind uncondition itself from all habit? Habit being opinion. Having opinion, stick to it, and keep on insisting this is right. That's our habit. Have opinions. If it is wrong, change it immediately. Or not, and therefore not have opinions at all. Why should one have opinions about anything?
Well, I mean, again, opinions are based on your biases, though. That's for sure. To have an opinion, you must have prior knowledge of something. I think. I'm just putting my thoughts out there. I would assume to have an opinion, you would have to have prior thoughts about something. Or at least related to whatever you're having an opinion about. Because you can't necessarily have an opinion about, say, Alpha Centauri. The star. Closest star? Closest sun besides ours? Closest something. But yeah, I mean, if you've never really thought about stars or thought about Alpha Centauri specifically, then you don't really have an opinion because you have no biases for or against it. Now, if you talk about our sun, that's a different story. You're like, oh man, it's really hot, or it's like, oh, it's always so bright out there, or something. You know, you have an opinion, bias one way or another, but because you have experience of it or you've thought about it, then you have an opinion, a bias. Mind you, it's always going to be a bias, but understand that you have a bias behind it.
Even about the Prime Minister.
But sir, you have been expressing opinions all your life.
He says you have been expressing opinions. I'm sorry, I don't think I'm expressing opinion. I'm just stating facts. Fact. That's not an opinion. Saying this microphone is not an opinion.
Something else.
Huh?
You can call it something else.
No, I'm not calling it something else.
Oh my gosh. I'm sorry. I love the fact that Krishnamurti really wants his audience to get so involved, and it just makes me wonder what he would say about the stuff that I just said. He seems so excited about it, and I really like that about him. I mean, don't get me wrong, Sadhguru always says yes. You know, he asks the audience to confirm stuff too.
I am jealous. Full stop. It's not an opinion. It's a fact. I'm angry. It's not a conclusion. It is so. I'm angry.
Sorry I'm pausing so much, but okay, so about my biases, that's of course your would that also affect jealousy and anger, your biases? Yeah. Yeah. I think so. Cuz biases. Because if you like something and that something doesn't like you back, or you can't get that something, then you're is that a bias though? Maybe I'm thinking too much into biases.
I'm violent. But when I begin to explain what violence is, or it should be tackled this way, you must do about, have non-violent state of, those are all opinions, conclusions. But to face the fact that one is violent, there is no explanation, no need for opinion.
No need for an opinion. Okay, you can't argue the fact that someone gets upset or something, but the reason is where you can have an opinion or you can have an explanation. Yes. So yes. The fact that you are a violent person, the fact that you're angry, jealous, sad, happy, no opinion is needed. But the reasoning behind it is where the opinion and biases comes in. Okay, yeah, okay. I did play, right? Okay.
I'm brown. There it is. But to say I shouldn't be brown, I wish I were a little lighter because it's more popular and all the rest of it, and I'd be too silly. So can we, please, pursue this to the very end? Can the mind be aware of the habit, whatever it is, end it instantly, not take months, years over it? And that's only possible when your whole being is aware of that fact, not just part of your being, not just a conscious awareness, superficially, but the totality of your being aware of a particular habit, like smoking. What is involved in that habit?
Your lungs.
The occupation with your hands, all that. Your resistance, your pleasure, your narcotic poisoning of the body and the body demanding it, and so on and on and on. To be totally aware of all that fact. Like those people who are constantly frowning, doing this, something or other with their hands, with their face. So that the immediate perception is the immediate action and the ending. But if you say, well, I'll take time, you're already finished. I mean, there is no question.
A little long.
The sharpness, the intelligence, the sensitivity of the mind is in the action and the testing of that action.
What do you mean by the testing of that action? You mean whether
Give it up. You'll find out. Testing. If I smoke, I want to find out all about it, go into it completely. And if I do, I'll know at the end of it whether to drop it or not to drop it. I've tested it.
So is he saying basically is to try something and then after you're done with trying, determine whether you determine your opinion at that point? The subject matter, oh wait, well the subject matter he was talking about was opinion, yet the video is about habits make the mind dull. I don't know, is the title correct on this video?
So, habit in any form does make the mind dull. whether it's the habit of pleasure or the avoidance of pain as a habit. That means to be on one's toes all the time. Watching. That means to learn. Learning isn't habit. It's a constant process. Habit is when you have accumulated through learning, which is the knowledge. Say, I have knowledge, I know.
Like I said earlier, because you've done it so much that you don't have to think about it. You know, it's just almost second nature or instinctual to some degree. Yep, that's about it.
It's only the stupid man who says, I know.
Ooh.
If there's constant learning, how can habit exist at all?
Wait, what? Wait.
I know.
Superman who says I know. Well, I mean, you know, I know some things, I think, for the most part. I mean, I'm not going to say that it's 100% right.
Yes, I know.
What is that last part?
If there's constant learning, how can habit exist at all?
If there's constant learning, how can... Oh... Well, you know, you can have a habit and still be constantly learning, right? It's not like you're always constantly doing new things every day. Taking a shower is a habit, hopefully, for most people. Brushing their teeth also, hopefully, is a habit for most people. Eating. Going to work. Kind of... I mean, can you consider those things habits? I mean, there are things that you have to do. I guess I should look up the definition of habit. Good lord. You think you know words, but then you don't. Habit is something that you do that you enjoy, typically. Or it could be a bad habit, like smoking. It's something that you do. Is habit something you do repetitively? So basically going to work, taking a shower, eating is a habit. But just because those are things that we don't think about, that we don't consider them habits, habits tend to be good or bad, but not neutral. There's constantly learning. How can habit exist? How can habit exist at all? Oh, I wish I could talk to him. Oh god, I'd be like, well, I definitely got to look up the definition of habit just to make sure I understand it correctly. Crap, don't have a free computer. Let me look up the definition of habit. Sorry. So, can't believe it's such a word that we use a lot, but somehow I have to look up freaking the definition of habit. Okay. A settled or regular tendency or practice, especially one that is hard to give up. Long, loose garment by a member of religious order or congregation. Dress or clothes. Habit. So, I don't think it's talking about clothes here. I think it's talking about setting a settled or regular tendency or practice, especially one that's hard to give up. Tendency or practice, but I guess habit is more along the lines of something that's hard to give up. So like, so I guess understanding that you need to take a shower is not necessarily a habit, because it's not necessarily hard to give up. Eating sweets can be a habit, a bad habit, obviously, because some people find it hard to give that up. Me drinking coffee and drinking milk is a habit. That's terrible habit. Mind you, I mix coffee and milk together. Like, is it Chinmayananda when he talks about, coffee and milk together? um, okay. So habit, one that's hard to give up. I don't know. That makes it seem like habit's something of a negative effect. Then, well, again, good and bad habits. Oh man. I guess I would still say this to him, and I'm curious if I say this to you, and let me know what you think. You can still have habits. Habit will always exist. Obviously, a lot of people have habits, but that doesn't prevent you from learning. You can multitask. You can take a shower and wash yourself with soap at the same time. You can stand in the shower or sit in the bath and scrub yourself with soap. So you can have a habit and still learn new things. Every day, do I learn new things? I don't know. Honestly, I do not know. I don't think about things. I just go with the flow of life. If I learn something, that's fantastic. If I don't, then I still enjoyed life, or try to anyway. Anyways, let me know what you think down in the comments below if you care to. If you like my content, please consider subscribing. Thumbs up, thumbs down below. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next vid.